You may be wondering, what does this have to do with branding? Kind of everything, because the women who come to me for brand work or for even just support in founder leadership and energetics are the kind of women who have extremely bright stars. They're the kind of women who have things of value within them that they may not even realize about themselves. And they've sold themselves short because the world has not been reflecting to them the truth of their value. Whether that could have been throughout childhood or even just being overlooked, as a Black woman. So yeah, I created this video because I wanted to put you on game, for one, and two, bring to your awareness the things within you that needs to be regarded and guarded at a higher level. And so if you could relate to that opening statement, then you probably are the kind of woman who attracts men who try to possess you. Now, why do they do that? When you are extremely spiritually gifted, walk in a high level of favor, when you have embodied the archetypes of someone who is very rare in their energy, personality, how you think, your wisdom, when you have a direct channel connection to God as well, when you live unconventionally, you become a mirror. It's just, and when you're beautiful, you become a mirror. It is what it is. And not just a mirror, you become a highly magnetic mirror. So it's not just men that are attracted to you, it's everything. Everything, because your light is bright in spirit, so you're seen, and in the physical, your attributes, your energy is felt, it's noticed, you're noticeable. And so that's the main reason why. But we're just talking about the specific kind of people who are attracted to you. So why did they try to possess you? Why they try to possess you and why it works in certain ways is because you're lacking the cognizantness, to recognize who you are. I always say, if you don't know who you are and what you have, it'll always be stolen from you or used against you or used to fuel somebody else's life. Men trying to possess you can look like controlling the narrative around you or your reputation, good or bad. They could try to propose to you, even if they're not the right candidate. So if you're someone who gets a lot of proposals, or you're someone who has a lot of men who instantly know, like, oh, you're my wife, they might be trying to possess you. If men looking to possess you can also look like them using their money to manipulate or control you, like throwing money at you or even trying to provide for you, which I know the narrative right now is that we want a man to provide for us, but just hear me out. I will say that a lot of times men trying to possess you and own you looks like them trying to provide for you, even if it's just them buying you drinks. If you are the kind of person who has not recognized who you are and the intensity of your gifts, more often than not, at this point of your time, that could be a way of trying to possess you, or even just a little bit of your energy. And then, of course, men trying to make you rely on you in some way. And it could be from the spectrum of relying on them 100% financially, or to all the way, or maybe to the lower end of them just trying to make themselves seem dependable and let that emotional connection fester. And the reason why they're trying to possess you is because you have something that of value that may not be in use, or maybe it could be in use, but it will benefit them in some way. And so that could be your beauty. Do you know that because of your beauty, which is a gift, when you stand next to somebody, you instantly level them up in terms of their status and opportunities? Do you know that when you have favor, they can attach themselves to that kind of favor to where good things start to happen to them too? Do you know that your life force energy within your womb, which is connected to your heart as well, that they can siphon that through sex, through emotional entanglement, so that they can increase their life's outlook as well? And this also goes for your connections, your activating energy, your attention. All of that are things that are of extreme value and if it's not recognized that this is an asset, you will allow yourself to be in places and give to people and yoke yourself with people, rely on people, trap yourself with people who don't want you. They want what you have. Have you ever heard a woman say, like, they don't want me, they just want to fuck me, they just want to have sex with me? It's the same thing. It's them wanting to possess you. And the thing is that most people just can't be outright. And we're not in that culture anymore. You can't just say, I own this. It comes with manipulation. It comes with being played. It comes with cunningness, deceitfulness. And so it's never as obvious. And so when you are a highly successful, ambitious, spiritual woman founder of a product-based brand, the reason why I'm talking to you about this is because you're not just carrying like a business. Like, yes, I don't want to downgrade other people, what they have accomplished, but it's not just a business. We're talking about the lineage of your entire bloodline. We're talking about your position of matriarch. We're talking about you mothering movements and change in the world and architecting movements and change in the world, providing blueprints for people. Like, you are a person who has a lot on the line, not just with what you see and what you've built so far. This is just the beginning, just the bare minimum. And so I want to bring this to your awareness, because there will be people, especially men, who come seemingly perfect, especially if you're a Christian or you're religious. They will come as a man of God. They will come with a lot of money, thinking like, oh, I can finally rest. And if you haven't watched my last video called, what is it called? Let me look. I forgot what it's called. The Trap of Productivity. I highly suggest watching that for this reason. Because part of being trapped by productivity makes it very easy for you to find rest in a man. And I'm telling you, when it comes to what you have to recognize that most people do not have the depth to see you for who you are. They don't have the capacity or even the desire, but they see what you have. And so a lot of times people will architect situations through which they can siphon at minimum and at most own you. We all know what happened to Britney Spears. We all know what happened to what's her name? Jeanette McCurdy. Well, we might not all know, but Jeanette McCurdy was a child star, and her mother, I mean, she owned her. I mean, I guess to some people that might be like, well, that's her child, but she really screwed with her life, even into adulthood. And so the point of this video is for me to get you to become aware of who you are and what you have. Not just in the physical, but your assets. Because even if you had nothing, you were just a bum on the street, people would still see it and they would try to possess you for it. They would try to take it, because they can't take your gifts apart from the person. They will try to possess you and control it and redirect the flow towards you. And the reason why it's so hard for a lot of such amazing women to see themselves is because the world does not provide for them that kind of mirroring, especially if you're a Black woman, because you're just not supposed to be successful. You're not supposed to be beautiful, successful, smart, and have everything. That's not supposed to be for you. But when it comes to the women who have so much going on for them, on the inside especially, plus what they have on the outside, I also need you to count the cost in that kind of way. In the same way that we might get certain things appraised, or we might calculate our net worth. Calculate your net worth. And this is one of the main reasons why I created the Align Partnership, and also my vision articulation sessions, because I believe we lack mirroring. We lack true mirroring, because the world does not give us that. I know I went through my whole childhood. I mean, how many Black women have gone through their childhood and just thought they were ugly and stupid? How many kids in general have gone through their life thinking, I'm ugly and stupid? Because their environment may not recognize that in them. Even if it's so obvious to any outsider, but certain environments just don't foster that. And so I always say, the most of what I'll ever do for you is mirror you accurately. to be a clear mirror so that you can see yourself and what you have. And the reason why that's so important is because knowing yourself and who you are and what you have will save you. You have to know the worth of a thing to handle it well. And the things that you have is what you're going to use as tools to materialize the vision that God has given you. And if you are not aware of the tools, you're going to be scrambling around looking for something else when you already have it inside of you. Think of that story of Jacob and Esau. Jacob knew what was up from the beginning. Esau was a little bit late. And what did he do? He gave it up. But mind you, he could never really give up something because it was in him. It's natural to him. He had to deceive it for it. He had to be cunning with it. And that's why I want you to understand what you have, because then people's actions will begin to make sense. People's words will begin to make sense when you know what you have. Like, let's say you have like a really nice bag and someone comes up to you like, oh, that's a nice bag. Can I hold that for you? You're going to know immediately like, you're being weird. Or if somebody, if you see somebody on the street like talking to a kid, there's no reason for any adult to talk to a kid that's alone. You know what I mean? So that's obviously going to register in your mind like something's wrong here. And you're probably going to step in, right? I need you to do that for yourself. When women join the Aligned Partnership, although we are still working together, navigating the power moves and risks and deep changes that they need to make within their company, brand, and personal life and within themselves so that they can lead their company to full alignment with the vision that God gave them. But a big chunk of that is us having sessions of just mirroring, of just them realizing more of who they are. Because you can only create what you are, and what you are is innate within you, but in order of how much you embody it comes down to your level of awareness. And so we increase that awareness when we work together. And of course, links will always be down below for the application. I just want to let you know that you have something of value and something very special, and I'm going to need you to up your gates a little bit higher, because the same way that Esau could be swindled out of his birthright, not even recognizing the value until later, it's the same way that you could also be swindled out of it. And that's only on a relational level. I can't even get into the legal ways that you can be swindled out of what you have. Know what you have, but we'll talk about that more in other videos. The main point of this video is that, or the homework that I'm going to give you, is to begin taking stock of inventory of what you have. And if you don't work with me to have that mirroring to help you recognize that within yourself, find someone who you can trust, who's a clear mirror, who doesn't have jealousy, who does not think in hierarchy, who does not think they're above you or beneath you, someone who can just meet you from peer to peer and clearly see within you and mirror back to you the truth of who you are. And you receive that according to what you see within yourself. Anyways, I'll be posting for every single day this September. So if you want to keep up with me, subscribe to this channel and click the bell so you can be notified when I post. I typically post 6 a.m., 8 a.m. Eastern. So I'll see you in my next video. And if not in my next video, in one of my containers. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.